Hello, and welcome to Sunday afternoon slow stitching. I'm going to be getting back to this piece, and as you can see, I've been doing a little work on it myself, but we'll talk about that as we get to it. One thing I think maybe some of you remember is I used a piece of felt. Now, this is not the very thin, fine, as I call it, junk felt that children use for cutting out shapes and so forth. This is a little bit better quality, but I learned from my an hour slow stitch sewing guru, Ann Brooke, who has a magnificent channel on YouTube, that she uses the batting for the inside of quilts. It is a little bit thicker, as you can see. It's very, very, very soft. It feels wonderful. It's a little bit thicker and a little bit softer, and it works, she believes that it works much better with fabric, so I investigated and found some of this on the best price on Etsy, and so I'm going to be using this for book covers and whatever else that I have in that I might have in the back of my mind, because I have one particular little chamber in my brain that is really clicking away on this. So I'm going from this to this, only because someone with all that experience and talent has suggested it. You don't have to hit Carol on the head twice. And before we begin, I want to share a happy thing that has happened. I actually went to the closet and got out this piece of needlepoint that I started in 2018 and stopped working on because I just decided that I certainly did not have enough time to do mixed media, watercolor, and then of course junk journaling came to me. I decided I didn't have enough time to do that, so I put this aside, but I have gotten it out again, and I might be doing something quite simplistic. I'm working right now a little bit on this little background, and as you notice, every stitch is not covered, but I want to try to lay the background down behind this. This piece is an original drawing of mine, and I'll show you what it's based on. This was one of my favorite and foremost pieces of watercolor, and the background is watercolor through a stencil, and then I put this purple flower on top of it, and I decided that with a little tiny bit of distressing, this is going to go right there, and this is going to be the frame within a frame. And I have a couple of the leaves that fit on here, but I'm not going to show you all of that because that's not what we're about right now. But so this is my piece of watercolor that's going to be glued, literally, yes, glued right down on there with some fabric tack whenever I live to finish this. This is this I can just do in bits and bobs of time that I find, but I am so happy. And as you see, I still had the stencil from here, and I used it on the background here. I even included some gold on here, and I think, well, I'll stop now. This, as I said, is wonderful. I thought I would never stitch like this again, and most of the tricky bits here are completed now. So let the fun times begin. Today, we're going to get back to our piece of slow stitching. And I found out that I did not have any longer a pincushion. So a pincushion is coming to me from eBay also. I wanted to have these ready so that I wouldn't have to take your time up looking, having you watch me thread needles. So let's see where we are now on this piece. When I stopped the last time, we had this, I had this to complete. I had the right stitch down. I had the cross stitches here to complete. And I had cut out of the pattern on a piece of fabric these two roses. And then I snitched the darker leaves from another piece of fabric that had leaves on it, obviously, and put them here. And the leaves that went with this fabric, I put over here. So let's see what I have been doing thus far. I'm going to get even closer now. Righty. On here, just had some overcasting with the same pink from here, just to bring out that design in that flower. So there's here and here, and then buttonhole stitch around the outside of these two flowers to hold this down. Then I put I cut out one of these leaves. I fussy cut one of these leaves out. And let me get a little closer yet. I used some of the green that we had picked. Now this is not variegated. Yes, it is. Yes, it is variegated. Some of the green that we had picked to bring out some of the lines on the design on the fabric. And then I backstitched some tendrils, and I'm going to add some leaves, and I'll show you how I do this. This is so simple. For those of you who say, "Oh no, it isn't," my answer is, actually, after you've done 2 or 3 of them, yes. Then here are the cross stitches finished. Here is the piece we're going to be working on today. And here are the two leaves, and I use some of the thread that I'm going to be using on here to just to go over the darker lines on the design here. All just single stitches, back stitched, and I'll show you back stitch before we stop today. And then I put on these 3. These are silk. There's that color that I picked. I don't know why, but it tickled me, and it still does. And so I put 3 of those on. At least there are 3 of them. They're still there now. Don't know what can happen as we noodle along with this. So I've also taken the time to get this ready for you, so that you do not have to watch me do something quite this simple. Now, to do this lazy daisy stitch, we're going to let's put one of these leaves right there, and hold it in a loop. Go back down to the base. Come out as far as you want your leaf to be, and in the direction that you want it to go. Now I want it to come this way, so I'm going to come back over here a little bit more, right like that, and give it a pull. And we have to tack the loop down right behind there. And we are working then on I'm going to go right over that red basting because that's going to be removed. We have one more. Bring it up, loop it around, come down in the same place that you started. That's a little big. There we go. over the loop. This is silk, so it's very soft, and it slips through my fingers, but it's well worth it because it's very easy to work with. So, and so forth. I'm going to cover each one of these bits with some leaves to give that corner a little bit of excitement. And so let me take out. No, I'm going to leave it right here, and I'm going to take a moment to show you that lazy daisy again. I'm going to come up, I'm going to leave a loop. We're going to put the needle in the direction in which we want the leaf to point. Give a pull so that we get our leaf, and come back on the other side because we have to tack down that stitch, and it's that simple to do. They can be large like this or tiny, whatever. And we'll remove this one, put this one back here. No, I do believe I'm going to change my mind, and I'm going to show you backstitch to make sure that you understand how very simple that is. Okay. Now here's backstitch. We're going to come up and down. And when I say backstitch, it means we're going to step back from the area that you came down in and come up again and go forward, back stitch, come back, usually around the middle of that empty space, and here, and you get to have this lovely line that you can shape in any way that you wish, and back about halfway between, and here. And as you can see, that is the stitch that I used on here, and to make the background for this bit that I added. So now we have that done, and I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to take that right off right there. And now let's go and look at this. I wanted to do something a little bit different, a little bit unexpected, and so we're going to we're coming here now. Let me put this needle aside because it's a different size needle from that one. Alrighty. Now we have some of this thread, and I will show you which one it is. This used to be, in my day and age, it was called tatting cotton, but it is DMC, cotton perlé, 10 grams. And I chose this because of that beautiful grayish green color. And I've threaded up here. And now, let's get to working on this now. I'm going to go into, no, I'm not going in the hole where I have the pink and the yellow. I'm coming to the other side of the design. And I'm going to take this one across. and come down right here. And then I'm going to come back over here. And there we go. And so forth. Something a little different for this space. You're being annoying, so you're out of there. And you can see that you can go for quite a distance doing this if you're careful with it and hold it a little bit. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is finish all of these that I'm working on, and I'll be back, because you don't need to see me do that over and over again. Well, all right, we have mission accomplished now. And so I'm going to go into the center over here, just because I want to. And now we're going to go over, under, over, under, over, under. And that one is under, over, under, over. And down it goes. And I'm going to do a little quick check. Yes, there it is. Okay. And now we're going to go about the same, no, about the same distance, Carol. Now let's not get silly. Righty. Now this one, I believe it's over, that's under, so this one has to be over. Got to check that first one. This is over, under, and that should work. Now, in order to tie this down, in order to tie all of these down, and I'm glad that I checked because I missed. I certainly did miss. No problem getting that out. I'm going to tie each one of these cross areas here down with a cross stitch, and I'm going to use these two colors just to make sure that I'm paying attention. Alrighty, let's check again. There's the problem. Now, it's completely out. Everybody's straight. Everybody's lined up. Everybody's out of the pool. It's been a while since one's under, so this one is over. Okay. Over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, under, over, under. Is it correct? Yes, it is. Okay. And down it goes. I'll do just one more. No, too close. That one is over, so you have to go under. And then the tie down will be holding all of these in place. And I'll show you one tie down. And we'll tie it down with pink so that you'll be sure to see it. Remember, there is absolutely no need for you to split them. You can just pull the bits out. The strands can come right out. There's two together, and that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to do this without splitting, because there's really no way on earth that you're going to be able to see these tiny little crosses that well. to take this one off also. And now my nature is to come up in the lower left, down in the upper right, and skip one. And yes, this is a tiny little cross, but not yours are liable to not be that large according to what you do. So there are the tiny crosses that are going to be holding those long strands down. And as you go along, you just check to make sure that the situation suits you. And there we go on the crosses over the grid work. And then I thought, as my last go round here of the day, I thought, wait, look, I want to do some stitching. I want to do something. These are all straight lines, straight lines, straight lines. I thought I'd do something that would be on the diagonal. So I got some of this one out, and this is I think 2 strands. Good, no, 3. Okay, I'm going to put some 3 down in here. 3 strands. Now you can do these one at a time, like I'm doing it, or you can run a few of them at a time. Completely up to you. And I'm going to go over both of those bits of fabric. I'm not happy with that one. Let's just make sure we're looking what we're doing, Carol. Yeah. And one more ought to work. Now you can decide to put the row that comes back between these, or line them up and like railroad tracks. I'm feeling like I'm just going to use this space and fill in that space with this other row. And let's do it continue to do it one at a time, Carol. Yes, we will. Well, I'm going to stop here now. And let's see what we have accomplished today. We have started our grid. And of course, yellow between. Should work out just a treat. I'm going to finish these up. And we'll go on. I'm liking that already. I needed something diagonal. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. If you have enjoyed sharing this stitching time with me, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and I would appreciate your subscribing to my channel. Bye now.